pandemic is thought to have originated on the 1st of December last year, when a man in Wuhan was taken ill and later categorised as a victim of COVID-19. It was widely reported that the virus had started in a market where a range of live animals are sold for human consumption. But rational debate about the virus has been made more difficult by a propaganda war between the US and China, with both of these countries accusing each other of being the source. And as the number of new cases starts to rise again in parts of China, our correspondent John Sudwoth looks at the latest evidence about the origins of coronavirus and what might come next for the authorities in Beijing.
The origin of this virus is still unclear. Most scientists believe China's wet markets should be the focus. The virus, known to come initially from bats, was likely passed to humans, they say, via another species.
Do people in Wuhan eat wildlife?
We don't have customs like that, he says. Across town, though, this market, connected to some of the first virus cases, has been closed. Wild animals were traded here, but the testing of samples has now ruled it out as the source. But there's another theory. For more than a decade, Wuhan has been at the forefront of a major project to collect bat viruses from remote Chinese caves. As a result, there are few buildings in the world surrounded by as much controversy as this one right now, at the centre of the US president's accusation that the virus leaked from a lab. Inside, researchers have been studying coronaviruses and sometimes genetically altering them to better understand, they say, how pandemics might arise.
Well, the lab leak theory is dismissed by the Chinese government and by some scientists as an outlandish conspiracy.
We're told to stop filming. On state TV, the lab has dismissed the allegations of a leak.
This is pure fabrication. We first received the sample on the 30th of December. Before that, we didn't even know it existed. How could it have leaked from our lab when we never had it?
Scientists have looked at the structure of the virus itself, in particular its protein spikes, which are unusually good for a coronavirus of this type at binding to human cells. This analysis, by 5 experts in the field, finds that it was not purposefully manipulated. We do not believe that any type of laboratory-based scenario is plausible, it says, a conclusion now widely accepted.
To deny a possibility when a scientist should always keep an open mind.
But some scientists say it's flawed and based in part on accepting the lab's denials.
One of those possibilities has to be that this came out of a lab. There's, it's a possibility. We can't say it's not. And for my colleagues to say it's not, I'm a bit astounded, because you can't say a negative. Certainly no one's proved a negative here.
China has been developing an origin theory of its own, with state media and officials suggesting it may have come from elsewhere. It's an idea gaining traction in Wuhan. It came from the US, this man says. They've tested the sequences. The US had it first.
You have to assume, Huw, on top of all this, that China will have done its own investigations into the origins. The most likely route, the animal route of infection, perhaps by testing reservoirs of infection in various species, perhaps even also looking at those labs. If it has done any of those things, though, it's not made any of the results public.
John, many thanks again for the latest there in Beijing. John Sudwoth after that special report from Wuhan.